Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right in my living room in the wee hours of the morning when I do what I do for you. Today I got a good one for you. Do something out of the norm, but hope you enjoy. There's a lesson there. Okay, let's go. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. It's all about getting to know yourself, enlightening yourself to who you are. That's the name of the game. That wig is bad. I need to sound Leroy. Okay, excuse me. Right, right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of obtaining spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission. All my right thinkers to get you to do just that. Know you. Then I ask the question, or to make that possible, keep this in mind. Know thyself. Understand this. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. I can teach you. Tune in. That's why I do what I do for you. I got you. A person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous to avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is asleep spiritually. I'm a spiritual alarm clock. I can wake you up. I got the knowledge to do just that. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my out be true. Keep the balance in your life. Trust Mr. Right. Today, speaking of balance, I'm doing good. Right, as 25 rules led by storytelling, story with a message and a story for life. I give life lessons. This is one I hope everybody can identify with and understand. Right, thinkers, let's talk about dopamine. What the? Yeah, the pleasure principle, the fake high, aka the dragon. Dopamine is psychologically named for the psychiatrist or the neurologist named the dopamine. It's that endorphin that it sparks off when it's satisfied, but it wants to be satisfied all the time. George said, if you give the people what they want when they want it, they'll want it all the time. Dopamine is that kind of people. Watch this. Dopamine makes you feel good, but just for that moment, it don't last. It's a shot in the dark, okay? But it's a pleasure. It's a relaxing feeling. And I tell people, I'm an old drug man, and I've done pretty much every drug they got on the market, and I can tell you without no misunderstanding, I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this thing here, this dopamine concept. All right, dopamine is that mental high, aka ego, self satisfaction. Okay, it feels good. It just wants to feel good. It just want what it want. Okay, the ego, but it's a feeling that drives you to do something when it's in a positive manner. It's perfect. When there's out of balance and there's too much, even a good thing is not good for you. Okay, dopamine is that rush. You go up. I did acid and mescaline. They get you up there, and then all of a sudden, okay, you right. I love LSD. I spent my whole senior year in high school, 1975, tripping every day. Another story. But why? Because it spent my thought process. I love that. I was a guy who liked to be up. I don't like to be down. I ain't one of them, some guy like them pills. And I remember the hits and the codeines and the back in the day. Everybody, I was not. I'm up. Okay. Cocaine, acid, mescaline. Those are my drugs of choice. Disco fluid. I call it do it fluid. Okay. But now the downside is when that high, then it's to come down, to crash. You up for 2 days, sometimes 3 days, you just running, running. And then, it's going to come down. That's the dopamine high that gets you that pleasure. Oh, it's just good. But eventually, the party got to run out. The body gonna give in. Okay, dopamine don't care. It just keep you going and going. And eventually, the body says, "Look, man, I got to slow it down." Okay, been there many times too. We had a pill called a disco pill. 72 hours. You're going to be up for 3 days. It's not the story, all right, but here you go. But you have to be right thinking to control what your dopamine high. Knowing thyself will do just that. When you don't have enough self control, I call it spiritual discipline. This is when inside is saying it wants to do something, and the other inside going to supersede and say, no, we ain't doing that. Why? It ain't good for us. AKA set, hello, good, evil, ego, excuse me, whatever you want to call it, however you make it, but it's always going to be a clash. You, the middle decider, is your choice. Okay? You can feed your desires and do it. And most of us have little quirks. I drink tea every morning. That's satisfying my dopamine. Okay? I get in front of the camera every morning. I'm satisfying my dopamine. I check my. Yeah, I know that. I understand. Ain't nobody immune to it. See, the idea is to understand it. That way you can somewhat control it. I won't let it take me to that next level of doing something stupid. So, yeah, understand. Yeah, we all live the same way. I got desires. I fulfill them too. Right? I'm ego tripping every now and then too. It's human. All right. Next thing is the pleasure principle. That good feeling in the mind you want all the time. If your addiction, something that you just like to do, and most people, sex. Young men. I was a young man. Girls was my favorite choice. Why? I like them girls. Okay, but because it's what it did dopamine. No story but there. But understand that. We all have that thing that we want because it makes us happy, makes us feel good. You go get that bottle, makes you feel good. You go get that hit, makes you feel good. Right, that joint makes you feel good. Whatever it is, that's fine. And we all got them. It's called vices, whatever. But is you feeding the dopamine? If you don't understand you feeding that beast, you're going to have an addiction, and that's when it becomes a problem. Okay? When you can't stop doing something that's not good for you, you need help. That's all. We okay. I feel good when I do what? When I'm studying. I love my books. I'm surrounding myself with stuff, material that I like to do. That's my thing. Okay. Working out in the morning to take care of my body, physical fitness. The body needs to be kept in motion. Why? Body in motion stays in motion. So that's important too. Mind, body. And my meditation is my talking with my higher self, aka God. That's my high. That's what gets me all excited. So in that form, I'm good with that. Now if that form was I'm doing something that's gonna hurt me, I'm getting high, I'm drinking, I'm smoking, I'm doing nonsense, that might be doing dopamine, but it ain't doing me as a person no good. If you're weak minded person, dopamine will run you raggedy. Why? Because lack of self control. We become addicted to something that we know is bad for us, but we're gonna do it anyway. That's like doing the same thing, expect a different result. Feel I'm going with that one? So understand it. Okay. My high, again, is teaching my right thinking philosophy. Every week I become this crazy guy. Why? Because I'm so excited. Why? The dopamine is just firing off. Wow. I don't need a drug to fulfill my dopamine high. Everybody got a different thing. Find what works for you. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. But if you don't understand it, you running around here doing a whole bunch of nonsense. And well, I just got to have I got to have that. You will love the girl who ain't right. Everybody tell you how she ain't right. Man, I don't care. Okay, that's just, again, insane. Insane behavior is doing something that you know is wrong. And you're going to do it anyway. You got a lot of people going on, a lot of stuff that going on. But watch this. When you can feed your dopamine with positive things, self-care, spiritual knowledge, doing the right thing, doing stuff that's beneficial to you, yeah, get high off of that. Drug ain't, it's a side effect to a drug. My side effect to working out is I get physically fit. My side effect to studying, I get enlightened. My side effect to meditating and praying, well, I would be more tuned to who I am and what I'm doing, aka knowing thyself. So I'm feeding my dopamine in a positive manner. You can too. Just flip it. Use it for good. That's what I did. That craving, that makes you feel good. And for everybody, it's something different. Understand that. Whatever it is you got, that's your thing. But if you can't control it, you're going to have a problem. Young men, control what's below your waist. And now, the way I see it, I got to tell women, it ain't all about the body. I'm going there. But it ain't below the waist. Right thinking philosophy starts from the neck up. Okay? Speaking, knowing, and excelling is what I want you to be. Those last three levels on that shot on the Kundalini ring, on the chakra that we're doing, don't worry, it's a whole nother world. But yeah, that's what you need to be understanding. That's what you can feed yourself. Self medicating is feeding your dopamine addiction. You will never reach that high. If anybody ever smoked crack, you ever freebase, you ever did anything that got you instantly high, once that happens, you might well stop. Why? Because you never get it again. It's like virginity. You can't be a virgin more than once. Once it's broken, it's broken. That high you reach, that dopamine high that you get from that instant high, you're never going to reach it again. So it's called chasing the dragon. We got a lot of people doing that in their life right now, chasing that dragon, trying to get that ultimate high. I was one of them, did it, so I understand. Chasing the ultimate high after you reached it is a waste of time. Just giving you a heads up. Here you go. The drugs, heroin, crack, cocaine, etc., feeds your dopamine instantly. You put it in your vein, yeah. You hit, yeah, you slow the part. At that point, you have reached your highest of heights. And anything after that, you'll never reach that height. It's called chasing the dragon. Now, LSD, what's that? What I got? Oh, ayahuasca, all these mind hallucinating drugs, DMT. Now, those are hours of being under the influence. If you ain't ready, you may not want to mess with that one. Yeah, that's a dragon. You don't want to grab that dragon because I know I just get tripping with some people after a few hours. You know, they're fine. I want to come down. It don't work that way. You go on a roller coaster, you strap it on. You see it going up. Yeah, it's going up. But guess what? As high as it go up, it's going to come down. So yeah, that's the fun part for me. Psychologically, I had the concept. All right. Now I experienced all those drugs. I was fearless, but I knew drugs. Now I understand why. When I was doing them, I was doing them for the pleasure. You know, I was enjoying them. Now it makes a lot more sense as I analyze and reflect on back. Yeah, it's a mind thing. Drugs is just hit the mind. Now, as a master of myself, I have total control over my dopamine addiction. I don't want to sniff the coke. I don't want to take a tab of acid. I don't want to do this thing. Why? I just don't want to do them. That's how you conquer sex. That's how you defeat your ego. You come to grips with reality and you make a better decision. Sorry about that. Let me wrap this up. I appreciate you. I'm going on about this dopamine. It's a good concept I got. I'm hoping getting the message across. Dopamine, the brain will never be satisfied. You will continually chase the dragon, so to speak. Trying to get that high. Trying to get that high. Won't happen. I had family members, watch this, who lost control of their dopamine addiction. Had an aunt that OD, had a brother who never seen their arm because they doing that thing in their arm and got the tracks. So they feeding their addiction. And it didn't help them none. That's what I'm saying. So I saw it in a negative light. Well, you do that, that's just not gonna work. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Never had a needle in my arm, never did that nonsense. So when you can't stop doing something that is not good for you, seek help. They got places for that. Okay. I help, but you got to understand. You need to step up. Okay, make better decisions. Now I've seen people give up everything they had of value for that crack pipe, for that cocaine. I've seen women sell it. When you lose integrity, when you lose your self-respect, it's time to check yourself in somewhere, get help, because you can't do it on your own. That's all. If you can't make a better decision, then just seek help. I'm just asking the concept. Watch this. Getting high, smoking, drinking is a weakness a lot of us live with from generation to generation. Stop that nonsense. Speak for yourself. I'm not drinking. I'm not smoking. I'm not doing none of that nonsense. Neither do my kids. Last one. That desire that you have to do, have, or be to make you happy, if it's done in a negative and wrong manner, it's not going to end well for you. If you need a drug or drink or hit, etc., to make you feel good, you got a problem. I'm just saying. I use my God consciousness to defeat my dopamine addiction. Why? I think again. But I think right. I'm not thinking, well, if I do this now, I won't do it. No, no, no. Weakness is giving into something that you know is wrong, and you say, well, you make excuse in your mind to do it. Can't do that. Can't do it. Won't do it. Right thinkers understand that. I know that dopamine high is not real. It's the pleasure principle, just like the devil you created, and you either you get euphoric and understand who I like that, and you get sucked in, or you can be rational and say, I'm not doing that. And you wake up and become a right thinker, like your boy. Being God conscious can stimulate your dopamine experience. Getting high don't do nothing positive for you. It's a fake out. It's not real. God consciousness is knowing thyself. That's real. Wrapping it home. The spirit taking it home now. Wrapping it up. The spirit is stronger than your dopamine addiction because the spirit is real. You control the dopamine high, but the spirit will supersede that if you become spiritually enlightened. Become a right thinker. I'll take care of that for you. I'll be back. Appreciate you.